Hello my darlings, and welcome to my very first tag video. This witchy creator tag is my magical YouTube journey. Let's do some magical crafting. I was very kindly tagged by Megan at Round the Cauldron to answer 25 questions about being a witchy, magical, or pagan YouTuber. What is your channel name and what is the significance behind it? My channel is called Magical Crafting because I'm primarily an art witch and a maker. I knew that I wanted my channel to showcase a lot of arts and crafts related to witchcraft, and then it just expanded from there. What type of content do you create on your channel? The content on my channel is mostly folk witchcraft, sigil magic, and art witchery. I love to create and share recipes for spell oils, spell candles, spell jars, and make Book of Shadows pages. I create journals, guided meditations, and videos on sigil magic. I also love to do crafting and art to honor the holidays, the seasons, and deities. What inspired you to start your channel? I wanted to create a YouTube channel for a very specific audience, me. For the last several years, I've been creating the videos I wanted to see on the platform. Anything about witchcraft that I'm interested in, I research and I give it a try. All of that turns into content for the channel. How long have you been on YouTube as a content creator? Technically, it's been almost 5 years, but in May of 2019, just 5 months after I started my channel, I got really ill. I spent almost 10 months unable to film or post videos, except for 1 or 2 here and there. I finally had surgery in December of 2019, and after a period of recovery, I began publishing regular videos in March of 2020. I think of that date as the rebirth of the channel. I've posted consistently since then and eventually made it my full-time job last year. Of course, we all know what else happened in March of 2020. The global panini happened. And instead of going back out into the world after my year of illness, I stayed home for the next 2.5 years. So I've decided that it's time for me to come out of this weird limbo and really start living life again and meeting people. The channel will celebrate its 5-year anniversary on January 30th, 2024, and I'm excited to host an in-person meetup on the channelversary date. The meetup will be a picnic lunch at the Disneyland picnic area. We will be celebrating the 5-year channel anniversary along with what I hope will be hitting my 100,000 subscriber goal. I invite anyone who wants to meet up and celebrate with me to join me at the Disneyland picnic area. I'd love to meet everyone at my happiest place and make new friends and rejoin the world. No need to buy a ticket to the park, but if anyone wants to hang out in the parks after lunch, I'm up for doing that too. Is there a style of content that you want to try? There are so many things I would like to try. I've been thinking about starting a series with witchy tips for beginners. Most of my content does not have a lot of my opinion on beginner witchcraft. I've shied away from giving advice and instead focused on giving suggestions on my channel. But recently a family member asked for advice on how to get started in the craft, and it got me thinking about making a series sharing my opinions. I've been thinking about starting a podcast, but I have not figured out how to carve out the time to make a podcast happen. I'd also love to share more witchy home videos and some kitchen witchery and cooking videos, and I like the idea of adding in an occasional vlog-style video as well. What are your hobbies outside of your channel? To be honest, I work a lot, probably way too much, but I do have a lot of hobbies too. Luckily, my channel lets me do a lot of art and crafting as part of my job. I would say that my main hobby is gaming. I love all kinds of games. I love in-person tabletop role-playing games like Dungeons & Dragons, and I'm currently in 3 different campaigns. I love all kinds of tabletop board games, but mostly play cooperative strategy style. I love mystery, murder, and escape room games, and I love to solve escape room subscription boxes each month and go to in-person escape rooms as well. And I also play video games, MMORPGs like World of Warcraft and New World, MOBAs like Heroes of the Storm, and turn-based strategy games like Baldur's Gate. And one of my other hobbies is Disneyland. I'm a big fan of the Disney parks. I specifically love the parks and resort properties and the vibe, as opposed to Disney movies or the Disney brand. Disneyland is the one place I can go where I can be in the moment. Before the global panini, I was an annual pass holder for over a decade and visited Disneyland, Disney California Adventure, and Downtown Disney for dining and shopping all of the time. I love all of it, but if I had to pick a favorite place, I would have to choose New Orleans Square in Disneyland. I love the food and just hanging out and people watching. And of course, I love the Haunted Mansion and Pirates of the Caribbean attractions. Since they're reopening after the global panini, I've not gone to the parks as much, but I have plans to get right back into the swing of visiting this fall, and of course in January to celebrate the channelversary. How do you plan out your content? I use a lot of different tools to plan out my content. I start with a simple monthly calendar and a rough outline of the days I will upload videos, host live streams, post shorts, and Patreon rewards. I usually start with the 8 Sabbats on the Wheel of the Year and plan a few videos for each of those, and then expand from there. Recently, I've been choosing a different theme for each month and designing witchy content around that theme. It works to give my months a direction and a focus, and to rein in all of my different ideas for projects. I also keep a spreadsheet of video ideas that I want to do, and videos that might do well in the search or in the algorithm. My favorite thing is to plan out a video series or 2 for each year, whether it's a spell oil series or a spell candle series. In 2024, I think it will be a witchy bath and body series, and I'm toying with the idea of a witchy home series as well. I like to leave a few blank spots in each month in case a great video idea pops into my head or urgent inspiration hits me and I just have to do it right away, or in case a witchy content creator approaches me for a collab. What are the tools of your trade? As an art witch, the main tools I use are paint and brushes and craft materials. But as a content creator, my camera and lights are my main tools of my trade. I have a top-down camera setup with a camera on an arm over my workspace and 2 adjustable ring lights on either side. This is where I film my videos, and also where I live stream 3 times a month. I host an art live stream, a craft live stream, and a Plan With Me live stream each month, or about 36 live streams a year. This is where I record my voiceover, and I use this mic for both my live streams and my VO sessions. This is also the desk where my assistant works. This second workspace is where I do all of my video editing and script writing and planning and scheming. This is also where I procrastinate and binge watch YouTube videos instead of working like I'm supposed to be doing. These are all of my external drives where I store the footage for my almost 5 years of videos. I just got this 14 terabyte behemoth on Amazon Prime Day at a deep discount. It's probably the one thing I would grab in a fire. Of course, the most important piece of equipment is my coffee maker. I can confidently say that without this delicious brew, there would be no magical crafting channel at all. I love to make lattes, cold brew coffee, quick pour-overs, or regular drip. As a content creator, do you experience burnout? If so, what does that look like for you, and how do you recover from it? My biggest struggle is burnout and exhaustion, trying to keep up with an unrealistic schedule of content and patron rewards. Of course, I created that schedule myself, so I don't have anyone else to blame. I generally work 7 days a week trying to keep up with this self-imposed craziness. And since I work from home, there's very little separation between home and work life. I've not come up with a reliable way to overcome this particular challenge. One strategy I have adopted is taking time to myself to walk at the lake, get outside in nature, sit at a picnic table with a thermos of coffee, and journal my thoughts or read a book. Or just to take a day and play video games and not think about the channel at all. Which video are you most proud of and why? I'm going to say that this video is the one I'm most proud of because it's the most brave and personal I've ever been in any of my content. I'm also very proud of 2 other videos, my urban witchcraft video and my day in the life of a witchy content creator video. They were the first 2 videos I ever made with vlog style footage taken around my hometown of San Diego, and really the first videos where I talked about myself and shared personal information. They were also both collaboration videos, and I met some wonderful witchy creators through the collabs, and I've stayed in touch with them all. Who inspires you within the magical Pagan YouTube community? I'm very inspired by so many witchy creators. I admire annmaddox for how well spoken she is, and she clearly considers all of her topics deeply. And I love how thoughtful and considered Thorn Mooney's commentary is. I admire the fun vlog-style content that Bex from The Witch's Cookery creates. And I love the way Olivia, the Witch of Wanderlust, can tell engaging stories in her vlogs. I'm inspired by Molly Roberts, an art witch who is endlessly creative and has a gorgeous aesthetic. All of these creators have very different styles, but they have one thing in common, and that's loads of charisma. Are there any channels that you would recommend? There are so many channels that I could recommend. I'm subscribed to over 100 witchy creators. In this niche, there are a lot of witches who make a channel and then disappear. So one of the main things I'm drawn to is consistency. I also love creators who hold strong opinions and aren't afraid to share them. And that's why I want to start including some more of my opinions in my content. And thirdly, I am very drawn to creators whose kindness you can almost feel through the screen. I very much recommend Jasmine at Ambrosia, Megan at Round the Cauldron, and Aurora at Lavender Hazelwood Witches. Do you believe there are misconceptions about being a magical or a pagan YouTuber? Some of the misconceptions I run into are people thinking I'll do love spells for them to get their exes back and that kind of thing. And while I do sell spell oils and spell jars on my Etsy shop, I don't actually do spell work for people. I provide all of the recipes and instructions to make your own in my videos on YouTube so that you can do your own spell work. I've had viewers ask me to make all kinds of content that I don't know the first thing about, and that made me realize that one of the misconceptions out there is that if you're a witch on YouTube, you know all about everything. When in truth, there are so many different magical practices and traditions and belief systems out there, and no one knows everything. And if someone pretends to know it all, they're either delusional or a charlatan. Another misconception is that magical or pagan YouTubers are all fortune tellers. I've had many viewers ask me to do tarot card readings for them, even though I've never offered readings or claimed to be a reader for anyone other than myself. I'm currently working on learning tarot and the card meanings and symbolisms to become more confident in my own personal readings. In the past, I've always relied on intuition and looking up meanings in the moment, but I think working through the deck in a workbook is going to be really beneficial. But I don't plan on doing it professionally, and I don't think that many witchy content creators actually do either. What do you like and dislike about being on YouTube? My favorite thing about being on YouTube is being able to create content I wish I had when I was a young witch, and at the same time meet other witchy people and make a little community of like-minded folks. I host 3 live streams a month, 1 art, 1 crafting, and 1 planning. I especially like chatting with viewers and making connections that way. I've also had the opportunity to collaborate and chat with other witchy YouTubers and made friends as well. I'm pretty sure that everyone will answer what they dislike about YouTube in the same way. At least for me, it's the constant pressure to upload videos or be punished by the algorithm gods. If your channel is a hobby, there's less pressure. But to be honest, everyone wants to feel like they're growing and being successful in their endeavors, whether they're hobbies or not. Because this channel is my full-time job as of last year, the pressure to upload has gotten stronger and stronger, especially since the interest and views in the witchcraft niche have gone down after the global panini. What are some of the challenges and struggles you face creating on this platform, and how do you overcome them? Every time I have a new idea for a video series, I want to add it to the schedule. Every time I see a fun craft or an interesting art project, I want to try it for the channel. I have shiny object syndrome. I always want to try a new thing or add new content. However, I don't want to let anything go to make room for new things, so I just keep adding ideas and projects. Obviously, this is not realistic or sustainable. I think the best way to overcome this overwhelm that I create for myself is to be more open to letting things go. The best way I've found to do that so far is to put them on the schedule for next year. That way I can feel like they're still a potential project. What is your opinion on monetization, paywalls, and exclusive content? I love monetization, paywalls, and exclusive content. Besides having an amazing, supportive spouse, this is the only way I've been able to make this channel my full-time job. My patrons make the channel possible. I make a small amount of money from YouTube views, but it's not quite enough to pay my assistant. So Patreon, my Etsy shop, and sales of my magical crafting workbooks and journals are what make the YouTube channel and all of my free content happen. This year, I tried doing some sponsorship deals on the channel to see how I liked them. But after thinking about it and trying a few, they're really just not for me. I'm going to stick to occasionally showing off a product or a book or unboxing if someone sends me something, but I'm not going to pursue paid sponsorships once I finish the last contract I have in 2023. I'm going to be sponsoring myself, as I have plenty of products to show off anyway. Do you have any boundaries on this platform? Why or why not? Baby, I am made of boundaries. Boundaries are something I am really good at, and my channel is my space. I will delete harmful, offensive, or mean-spirited comments. I will use the block button without batting an eyelash. I have a long list of blocked words on my channel. Anyone who writes a comment using one of those words never sees the light of day. I ignore the trolls, and I do not believe that anyone is entitled to more of my energy than I'm willing to put out there and give freely. Anything that crosses that line, I ignore, block, delete, or kindly deflect. Do you have any current goals for your channel? My biggest goal for the channel is to reach the 100,000 subscriber mark and get a silver play button. I know that it will not really change anything, but I have a freshly painted wall and some framed artwork sitting in a box just waiting for that play button to arrive so I can decorate around it. 5 years is a long time to wait. I am ready. What are some of the mistakes you've made and how did you fix them? My biggest mistake, I think, is creating a channel that doesn't show my face. I think most people view me as a channel rather than a person, and I feel like it's limited my ability to make connections with other creators and my audience. Most people tune in for the information I provide, which is great, but not for who I am as a witch and as an artist and as a maker. It's a mistake I've been wanting to fix for a while. I've been thinking about becoming the face of my channel for some time, but I always chicken out at the last minute. But I'm committing to doing it in 2024, starting with an in-person meetup for my 5-year channelversary and 100,000 subscriber milestone, and then adding my face into videos throughout the year, especially if I start doing more opinion content or showing some more of my personal witchy home content. Those are the kind of videos that would really benefit from some FaceTime. In what ways has your channel grown since your first video? Since my first video, my channel has grown in a lot of ways. My editing has gotten much better, and my videos are a lot more informational and somewhat longer and more detailed as well. My audio has gotten so much better since I got a better mic. I hate listening to my older videos. And of course, my subscribers have grown over the years as well. Have you ever wanted to quit making videos? Why or why not? I have considered quitting the channel a few times. I've hit a point of burnout and exhaustion trying to keep up with an unrealistic schedule of content and patron rewards, and everything else I've been creating. But instead of quitting, my instinct is to double down and try harder. I'm really stubborn like that. But eventually I realized I need to let go of some things and focus on rest and recharging. I've pulled back on some content because it was no longer a joy to make. And once I realized I needed more help, I hired an assistant to come in for 8 hours a week. They help me do all of the tasks that take my time and that someone else can easily do, like mailing out Etsy orders, preparing pen pal cards and sigil spell bags for patrons, and administration tasks so that I can focus on creating content. What do you wish you knew before starting your YouTube channel journey? I wish I had known how important it was to reach out to other creators and to create a community rather than trying to figure out everything alone. I was very shy in the beginning of my channel journey. I waited 3 years before I ever emailed another witchy creator and asked to do a collaboration because I was worried my subscriber count was too low for anyone to want to collab with me. I wish I had spent more time talking to other witches on social media and making connections that way. Do you post on other platforms? YouTube is my main platform and Patreon. I also post on other social sites like Instagram, Facebook, Pinterest, and TikTok, but they're not my focus. I plan on posting more shorts, TikToks, and Reels in 2024, and focusing more on Instagram and Pinterest as well. Pinterest is my favorite place to find art and craft inspiration. Do you have any advice for anyone wanting to start a YouTube channel? My advice for anyone starting a witchy or a pagan channel is to think about what you want to get out of it before you start. Do you want a hobby? Do you want to start a helpful channel to educate? Do you want to make it a job? Is it something you love enough to keep doing it year after year? This niche is not a large one, and it's not a lucrative one either. You have to really be passionate about the subject matter to keep going in the witchy space. Who will you tag in this video? I will tag all of the creators I've mentioned so far in this video, and maybe a few more in the description below. So check out the description to links to all of the content creators I mentioned. Thank you so much for watching to the end. And thank you again to Megan for tagging me. I hope you all got to know me a little bit better, and if you made it all the way to the end, put a comment below telling me the one thing you learned about me that was the most surprising.